But y'all not doing nothing at all. Cause it'd be like he said, "Oh, mom, I'm sick." And you'd be like, "Oh, go watch Paw Patrol," like, and they'll be homeschooling. Guys, welcome to another episode of Top Knox. We finally back together. The band is finally back together. I did a solo act. She did a solo act. She had a two-part series. I only had a one-part series. But we finally back together and time to get this show on the road. But one thing we wanted you guys to do, make sure you hit the like button, make sure you hit the subscribe, and make sure you hit the bell button to get all the get all the notifications whenever we drop a video or whenever we post any kind of content to YouTube. And also like us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And so today's show, we're gonna be talking about homeschool or not.
Okay, so guys, listen. Before COVID-19 and all of this happened, I had talked to hubby about homeschooling. You know, I was telling him that I was interested in homeschooling our oldest son, Logan, who is 5. And you guys, he was totally against it. He was not going for it. I really had to convince him. So, babe, can you tell us why, like some of the reasons that you were like no to homeschool at first?
First of all, I worry about he gonna be at home with his mama all day. That's one thing while I'm at work. Second of all, I kind of want to live through my son, so I want my kid to be everything that I'm not. You know what I'm saying? So I want them to be taller. I want them to do stuff that I want them to do stuff that I wasn't able to do. Like I want my son to be a basketball player. Like I can play ball, but I really can't play ball for real. But I want my son, my daughter to be a ball player. And also, another thing I want them to do that I wasn't able to do. With the top shelf at the grocery store, at City Trend or somewhere, when you're trying to get the clothes on the top rack.
Babe, what does this have to do with homeschool?
What I'm saying is, I just want my son, I want my kids, I want to live through my kids. Like, I want them to go back and live my life with just a little bit better and a little bit taller and a little bit smarter.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Okay. Yeah. So guys, you heard all that. I have no idea what that really has to do with it. But anyways, so I think it's safe to say that your main concern was, one, he wasn't gonna have the social skills that he needed.
Yes.
Because, and two, he was gonna be under me all day. So I think my husband's idea of homeschool was just us sitting at the table and just being in each other's space 24 hours.
Well, not just sitting at the table, but y'all not doing nothing at all. Cause it'd be like he said, "Oh, mom, I'm sick," and you'd be like, "Oh, go watch Paw Patrol," like, and they'll be homeschooled for the day. Like, think about that. Like,
So I will take that back. I think that you had no clue what homeschool entailed. Okay, so I didn't either. Okay, so this is my first year homeschooling, and I had help from one of my friends who happens to be my neighbor. She's such a sweet lady, sweet person. And she was homeschooled her girls, and I was telling her, that I was interested in homeschooling, and she was giving me, little tips and tools and everything. And so I really knew after listening to her that I really wanted to homeschool Logan. Like, I was dead bent on doing it. And so I really had to just sit down with my husband and just let him know that homeschool has taken leaps and bounds, and it's not like you're under your mom's thumb all day long doing nothing.
Yeah, homeschool has come a long way from the Paw Patrols and the Power Ranger days. So, I will come in like in between my breaks at work, or if I get out of work early, I'll come in and I'll see them doing the activity. I see him learning and stuff like that. He tell me about stuff I didn't even know about. So I'm like, okay, yeah, I knew that, you know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, he is learning a lot. My wife is an excellent teacher. Another thing I would like to say is, homeschool, you're able to create your own curriculum. Like you can get like other curriculum, like correct me if I'm wrong, like you can get like other curriculum and stuff like that. But also, a lot of these schools that don't have money, like they taking out like the basic stuff, like you know what I'm saying. Like I don't even think most of the kids nowadays know how to write a check because you can just cash out everybody now. You know what I'm saying? So like I bet if I go ask somebody like a kid now, like maybe 13, 18 years old, or 18 and younger, hey, can you write a check? And they would have no idea, but like, I can cash app you. But there's like some of the things that, you don't get in school no more. You don't get home economics anymore. You remember when we were going to school?
Yeah.
Man, like, that was my favorite time, man. I couldn't cook worse than that, but I know some girls that can throw down in the class, and I'm like, man, like, hey, I can boil some water and make some ice cubes, you know what I'm saying? So, but home economics, those type wood shop, man. I remember Big C class back in Marion, man. Big C class, Mr. Agnew class. I draw a blueprint to a house. Like I don't know how big it was, but I drew one. But and like I learned like a lot of different stuff, from the blueprints and cutting wood. Even though it wasn't straight, but it just felt good to have that saw in my hand. The smell of sawdust. I think that I like a lot of home improvement stuff, as y'all can see. So, but yeah, like those type of things, and they don't have them in school no more. But now it gives you that chance to create. Cause now that we homeschooling, she can do stuff like Home Depot have the Saturday project.
They have the projects for the
kids. So it's like it's a way to get around that. When you're at home, when you have a homeschool. So so I'll take them to Home Depot and we'll do like the little project, how to build a birdhouse or something like that. And they kind of like the wood. They kind of make up for the wood shop class, So.
So I think my husband is saying that homeschool can teach you life skills as well as academics skills. And like you said, a lot of the things that we got, like both of us, we went to a public school. And a lot of things that we got in the public school, they are slowly taking them out. Yeah. So I think, like you said, homeschool gives us an opportunity to fill in those gaps. But some of the reasons why I chose to homeschool is the fact that I get to spend more time with my kids. Okay, I love, like, if you ask anybody, my kids are my heart, and I'm sure everybody's kids are their heart. I hope so, think so. But anytime that I get a chance to just spend time with my children, I jump at the opportunity. So it's the fact that I got a chance to spend time with my son, and we also have a 2-year-old and a 9-month-old, and they just kind of come on into class too.
Our 2-year-old, he's trying to sing ABC, but only part you understand the ABC. After that, you don't understand nothing else.
But that's okay, because like that's the beauty of it. Like as I am teaching Logan, and he's right there, and Charlotte is right there. They're picking up, some things, and so he's learning along the way too. And then the second reason why I chose the homeschool is just because I get a chance to see Logan's growth and see, him, at his milestones. Like, that's an awesome feeling, like, to come in. Like, we've been doing a lot of reading, and to see him recognize certain words and put words together is like, yay, like my baby is, he's on it, he's reading. And we have this little thing where when he does things like that, I be like, boy, you on fire. Like
then he want to come and give me a fire hug.
Yeah.
And then I got
and I'm like, that boy hot,
You hot.
So yeah, that's the second reason. And the third reason is because we are believers, and we get a chance to teach him scripture and teach him morals and things like that. So, those are my top 3 reasons why I chose to homeschool. And another thing about homeschooling that I really like is that it doesn't have to be at home. School can be anywhere. So there are some days, like before COVID, I was like, oh, we can take a trip to, we can go to you can learn in the park, you can go to the beach, and you can learn on the beach. Like, it's just an awesome opportunity just to allow the world to be the classroom. When I say the world, I'm talking about, like nature and, the classroom can be anywhere when you're homeschooling. So.
Just everyday life, and everything is a teachable moment. Like like my supervisor already tell me, like, what did you learn from that moment? And like, man, like I learned X, Y, and Z, so I won't do it again and stuff like that. And that was kind of what homeschool is. You get to go out in everyday life. It's a teachable moment. So you can learn, you can pick up anything from anywhere. Like, you can learn something from anything, whatever you do and stuff.
Yeah, and we've been doing it for about 2 weeks now, 3 weeks now, and it comes with its challenges because he's 5. Okay, he's 5, and then I have for those of you who don't know, I am a full-time stay-at-home mom. And so he's 5, so he comes with his sets of challenges. And then also we have, like I said, Elijah, who's 2, and Charlotte, who's 9 months. And so while, we're in that learning phase, I'm trying to make sure that the 2 little ones are entertained as well, because they're getting into this and that, So it comes with its challenges, but it's so fulfilling, at the same time.
And I'll also say this. I only subbed one time. And man, I'm gonna call the professor, and man, like, I was like, no, like, this how you write your name, this how you write this letter, this how you do that. And I'm just like, dude, why is this so hard? Like, just do what I tell you to do. Like, just write the letter and stuff like that. And I'm like, don't make me call your mama and stuff like that. Then all of a sudden he started writing the letter straight and stuff. I'm like, how hard was that? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, now I see what a substitute teacher go through now. Like this is like crazy.
When
like,
mommy's away, he wanted to play. He didn't want to.
Didn't want to listen. Then I had to say, I'm like, dude, come on. Like, we can just get the Z. Like, we'll be all right. And I'm looking, and we only made it to what, I don't know, J or something like that. And he looking at me like, hey, what come out to J? I'm like, dude, you know what come out to J? But he was just trying to play, and I'm like,
he was testing his father to see how far he could get away with it. But yeah, and so
I just want to say I am good at PE, kind of, sort of, like.
Yeah, he's an excellent PE teacher.
Like, I can do that a little bit, my son like to play all the time, so PE for him not 30 minutes, like 7 hours. So, but yeah, on the regular PE schedule, I'm a good PE teacher. I can do that all day. Not all day. I'll take that back. 30 minutes.
Yeah, because if Logan hears you say that you can do that all day, he's going to want to do that all day. And he can go all day. But another reason why I fell in love with homeschooling is because you get to create your own schedule.
Oh, yes. Man, that is so big. Like, man, that is so big. Like, we can have school 4 days out of the week, and on Friday, man, we on the road. Like, we out. Like, we can go do whatever. Like, we don't have to go check them out or nothing like that. But, man, that's like the best thing, the flexibility to do whatever. And, man, you're like, I shoot a lot of stories where I work at, or where I used to work at. And one of the things was, I went to this one event, and I saw, like, these kids, and they was at a cattle competition. I'm like, it's a Monday or Tuesday in the school week. I'm like, how you here? And after I got to talking to the parent, they're like, oh yeah, we homeschool. Then so that was like one of the ways that they can, the child can still be engaged in other stuff in competition and be around other kids their age and learn more stuff and be on the road at the same time. One girl, she had a horse and she was in the, I think some kind of horse competition, but I said all that to say it was so flexible for the kids and the parents to be able to go out and do some stuff that the kids were interested in. And they were just like, that was my first encounter with homeschool. So now that we doing it, now I see like the benefits of it, and it's wonderful.
Yeah, and I am not, that's like, I'm not like a morning person. My husband can tell you that. I'm not like.
Yeah, you remember you remember when you first started daycare, we never got mail on time. Like
Yeah,
he always showed up like 9:30, 10:30.
Like I'm just not with that. But with homeschool, like I said, our schedules are flexible. We can pretty much start when we want, stop when we want, or whatever. We don't have to
Go to the bell
anybody.
ring.
Yeah, we pretty much, our typical start time is what, pretty much 10:30.
Yeah.
And then we pretty much end by 12 and 1 o'clock. If you want to put a timestamp on it, but like every second of the day is an opportunity to teach. So we did a video where Logan wanted to make a cake. Yeah. That was an opportunity for me to teach him. You know, there was math involved, you know, home economics, like my husband was saying, was involved. And there was just, you know, a lot of teachable moments just in making a cake. And, you know, things like that. Like we go outside on the trampoline and we're jumping, and I'm like, you know, how many times do you think you can jump in a row? I want you to, you know, count it out. And he'll jump and count 1, 2. So every opportunity, like my husband was saying, is an opportunity to teach and to sow into our children. And so that's another reason why I fell in love with homeschooling, is because the schedule is flexible, and like I said, we can get up and go without having to like answer to anybody. It's just the freedom. Yeah. The freedom of it.
Yeah. So you guys, you have any question about homeschool, we would give you the little knowledge that we do have in our experience and our encounter with being my wife encounter with being a homeschool teacher. Like, I am a sub, like, so, yeah. So I'm a sub, but just drop it down in the comment section, hit us up in the DM, and we can kind of give you those advice and kind of point them in the right direction if they want to get started in homeschool.
Yeah, if you, like my husband's saying, if you want to get started in homeschool, you know, there are different laws for different states, but just ask us in the comment section. Just put your question down, and if we don't know the answer, because like I said, this is my first year and I'm still learning, and I'm calling my other friends for advice, you know, on some things that I don't know. They're calling their friends. And so, you know, whatever questions that you have, if we're able to answer them, we will. But if we don't have an answer, we will direct you in the direction to get those.